Hi, my name is Nina. This is my sewing room, and I have a Norwegian series here on YouTube called Nina's Syrom, Nina's Sewing Room. All of my sewing material at the Nina's Syrom, Nina's Sewing Room, is free. I do this because I like it. I think it's very inspiring for me as well. And actually, by making these films, it's also pushing me to complete my projects. So everything you find is in free. All my YouTube videos have subtitles, and you can automatically translate them to the language of your choice via the function in YouTube. And I love to inspire others to sew. Not because sewing is so important, but I know the feeling I get when I have completed a project. I feel really well and proud, and I think others will feel the same, and that is a really nice feeling. I have done something with the Lutterloh system. I have made a full bust adjustment calculator, FBA calculator. You can go to my website, and I will write the link in the description box. It's ninassyrom.no. You will find the FBA calculator there. It's free. You take your measurements, you take your high bust, you take your full bust, you take your under bust, and you take your hip, your Lutterloh hip measurement. You add it into my calculator and you get 3 results back. You get the number you should be drawing your bust measurements with, you get the number you should be doing your hip measurements with, and you also get something I call the key measurements. And your key measurement will be a number, a metric number, so you can still use your Lutterloh measuring tape. This key number is what you will use for your full bust adjustment. I have also divided this into 2 sections. One full bust adjustment for a regular FBA, and one which I call an extra large, an XL FBA, because I divide it because there will be some slight differences. So if your key number is around 7.5 or more, then you can jump to the other section, to the second section of this film. You can use the chapters below in the description box. This is the film showing you how to do the FBA on the Lutterloh vest. And the Lutterloh vest, I've just made a sketch. This is not the real pattern, it's just a sketch. It has a dart going to the shoulder. So if you would like to do this and follow along with me at the same time, feel free to download this from my webpage, where you also find this film. So this will be linked, so you can try it in a small scale before you go to your big pattern. You can do FBAs in a number of ways, and you can do a lot of measurements to get it really accurate, but I think that my way is a very easy way to come very close to how you want it. I have had a lot of participants testing this system that has done it, and they don't have to do any changes at all. But because my system is so easy, you might experience that you have to do maybe some length changes or dart changes, but I think that will still be quite easy when you have done the FBA according to this method. Okay, let's start and I will show you. I hope you will find this useful, and I am happy to have your input in the comment sections. I'm also happy to help you if you need help. Okay, let's get started. For a regular FBA with the key number up to 7.5, you have to find your bust point. You do this by taking your paper pattern, holding it against your body, and marking where your bust point is. This can be something like this, for instance. Now we will mark some lines. The first line we draw from the bust point to the center point of the top of the shoulder dart. We will make a line from the bust point to the arm sky about 1/3 up. It's actually not so important that this is an accurate 1/3. It's just where the slope is a little bit steep. And we also make a line from the bust point to the hemline parallel to center front. In these 2 points we will make a hinge. We are not going to cut through the paper there. Now I have cut my pattern open and it's ready to give room for a larger bust. I will also make 2 new lines on a piece of pattern paper. These 2 lines have to be parallel. That means that the distance between these 2 lines are equal all the way, and the distance will be your key number. So the distance between those 2 lines are the key number you got from my calculator. Now I will use some scotch tape and attach the pattern piece to these lines. I start with the front part of the pattern piece and tape it to the first line. Now I will place the side panel of the pattern piece along the other line. Then you will get some overlap in your pattern piece. That's perfectly okay. Like this. You can already now do adjustments to the length, and also remember, if you do that, you have to look at the length of the back piece as well. Again, hold the paper pattern piece against your body and find your bust point on this new pattern. It can be something like this. Then we will make a new dart where the center of the dart is still at the center of the old dart. Pull away from the center of the bust point about 4 to 5 centimeters and make that the new starting point of your bust dart. But remember to pull it away from the bust point. Also, for making a dart at the waistline, you draw a line from the bust point parallel to center front. Pull back 4 to 5 centimeters from the bust point. Hold the pattern piece up against your body and check how much you need to take in to this dart. I mark the waistline with a pink marker. You might actually experience that you have a dart that will be a triangle at the top but with parallel dart legs at the bottom. That can happen because we will add quite a lot of volume in this FBA. If your measurements give you the key number above 7.5 in my calculator, we will have to add an extra dart to the pattern piece. We will do as we do on the regular FBA. Test your pattern piece by holding it to your body. Find your bust point and make the dividing lines from the center between the existing dart to the bust point, 1/3 to the arm sky and down to the hemline. In addition, we will make a new dart going out to the side seam about 5 or 6 centimeters down, and we will hinge this 3 places. Here, here, and actually here. So when I cut it now, I will cut, as the last time, I will cut it completely to the top. I will cut it from the bust point to the arm sky. And the new dart I will cut from the side seam to the bust point and hinge at the bust point. Again, I will draw the 2 parallel lines on my extra piece of pattern paper and make sure that the distance is equal the key number you got from my FBA calculator. Again, I start by taping the front part to the first line. And I will now move my pattern piece so my side panel is parallel to the second line. You see that you can lengthen the center front part just by cutting it and taping it. Again, hold the pattern piece up to your body and mark your bust point. Make a line to the center of the old shoulder dart and move about 5 centimeters away from the bust point and make a new dart to this new point. We will do the same where we just opened up our pattern. So make a line from the center of this opening to the bust point and make a dart corresponding to the opening. Again, pull away 4 to 5 centimeters from the bust point along the center line of the side dart. Again, you have to adjust for the waist dart. So take the pattern piece, hold it to your body and see how much you need. You might experience that you get a triangle at the front and 2 parallel lines at the bottom. But this is how you do the extra large FBA. As you can see, you have an extra dart here in order to gain this extra volume for the bust. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you would like to give me a thumbs up for this. It means so little to you and so much for me, so please do that. And if you find this video of interest, I'm also happy if you would like to share it to other people who would need this information.